This is the Cubs Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Chicago Cubs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What's up, everybody? Happy Saturday. Welcome into the Locked On Cubs Postcast here on the Locked On Cubs YouTube channel. Joe George here with you talking all things Cubs baseball as the Cubs get the victory 2-1 over Pittsburgh Pirates and take the lead in this 4-game series 2-1. Your questions and comments, welcome live here on YouTube. Just drop them in there as well. If you're listening to the audio version of this show, you can tweet me or find me on Instagram and hit me there at Joe George Radio. So lots to talk about on today's show. A win is a win, yes, but still a lot to be left to be desired, I would say, from the Cubs offense in this game. Big home run from Dansby Swanson. We'll talk about Matthew Boyd's performance and what we saw from Kirk Counsell's decisions at the end of the game. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. We'll start here on today's show, okay? Look, we're not gonna sugarcoat these things anymore, because for me, the Cubs they've changed the expectations for this season the way they've played early on. You know, they set the standard for what we thought this offense was going to be this season. So yes, a win is a win, and it's a good win mainly because you needed it. You needed to get back on track and find a way to ace, to squeeze one out and try to get 3 out of 4 from the Pittsburgh Pirates, because you've got a tough coming up part of your schedule. But you're still lacking the small ball. You're still relying a lot on the home run at this point. Your offense just isn't really producing, but you found a way to win this game, and that's what matters. Okay, you did find a way to win, and Matthew Boyd was excellent in this game. Let's talk about how the Cubs got their runs today, though, because we did see a small hint, a small ball, what we've been talking about a lot on these shows over the last couple series that we've been waiting for. The bottom of the third inning here. So Nico Hoerner gets a single, steals second base. So you got a runner on second with no out. So you feel like, okay, we're feeling pretty good right there. You got runner in scoring position again early in this game. Chance to tie the game against the Pirates, who are up 1-0 at this point. Matt Shaw hits the ground to first base, so it moves Nico Hoerner over to third, and Ian Happ gets a sac fly to make it 1-1. Kyle Tucker followed that up with a single and advancing on a wild pitch of his own, and they didn't advance there. So the Cubs do play a little bit of small ball there in the third inning of the game, and they get and tie it up. But we see them again in the fourth, the fifth, both get guys on base to start innings. PCA with the leadoff single and a steal in the fourth, and they're not able to get anything done there. They got him to third base at one point, but not able to get him home. Another leadoff single from Nico Hoerner, one of the two Cubs players with multi-hits in this game, Nico and Kyle Tucker. They're in the bottom of the fifth, but then Dansby Swanson comes up in the bottom of the sixth, hits an absolute tank, much needed from him. He's been struggling mightily. We all know it, but nice to see him hit that home run there to give the Cubs the 2-1 lead. And then the bullpen does what they've been doing, and that's just be excellent. Even when they get themselves in a little bit of danger, they've been excellent every single time they go out there. It's honestly, it's stunning how good the Cubs bullpen has been this year. It's just to continually go out there and shut down teams. It doesn't matter if you're good, bad, somewhere in the middle. The Cubs bullpen just continues to come through, and they did again in this game. So the Cubs offense does just enough. So let's talk about the positives from this. Outside of the third inning, we saw the multi-hit game from Kyle Tucker, and neither of those were really great swings, I would say. Not his best that he's had on the season, obviously, there, but he finds a way to squeak both of them through. Nico Hoerner, a good day at the plate himself, obviously, with two singles in this one. Nice to see him and PCA both on the move in this game. Feel like you need more of that. The strikeout numbers, though, still 10 strikeouts for the team on the day. 2 from Tucker, 2 from Suzuki, 2 from Swanson, 2 from Kelly. That's a lot of strikeouts from guys that you are relying on at this point in the season. Quick question here before we talk about some more of the pitching here from Ryan here in the chat. How many innings can they pitch Boyd this year? That's a great question. So I believe now he's pitched more innings in a season since he has pitched since 2019. I think they said it was 74 innings in 2019 is what he threw. And or 78 innings in 2019. He passed that is what I think they said on the broadcast today. So that will be an interesting thing to see, honestly for this whole staff. I think there's a lot of questions about that. We're not really focused on that right now. We're talking about the bullpen side of this on the back end of the show today. But, you've got a lot of these guys who have either been coming off injuries or young, like Cade Horton, who obviously has been used a lot early on in the season and is going to be pushed to limits where his arm has never gone before. So there are a lot of questions, I think, for the long-term future. But for today, it's you know what, Matthew Boyd just keeps going out there and shoving. Like, he has been, between him and Colin Ray, I know it's been a little bumpier for him this year, but what those two guys in Tyon have brought to this rotation has allowed you so well to just keep this thing rolling without Shota, who's pitching today, I think it is, on Saturday in Arizona. And as we wait for Porter Hodge to return, obviously Justin Steele not coming back anytime soon. He'll be back next year for the Cubs. So, but for today, the offense does just enough. And that's what they need right now. And it's unfortunate because we want more. Like, I want to be greedy here. I think we all do. We want to see the Cubs lineup be, where it's been earlier in the season. It's just not there right now. But so when you have games like this, you got to find a way to win them. That's why yesterday's game was disappointing. You had a chance to win that game, just like the game against the Tigers, when you're in extra innings. You have chances to win those games. Your offense is not doing enough right now. You got to just find a way. I totally agree with Andre. A win is a win. Don't care how they get them. Fly the W. Yeah, generally I agree with that, and I do agree. A win is a win. But I want to be greedy with this team. I want more from the Cubs this year. I want the Cubs to, I want them to, win the division and win playoff games this year. I want more. So, that to me is why, like, yes, it is a win is a win, but the expectations have been set by this team that they can be much, much better. All right, we'll take a break here. We'll talk more about what we saw from Matthew Boyd from the bullpen in this game, plus your questions and comments here in the chat live on YouTube. Coming all up next here on the Locked On Cubs postcast on the Locked On Cubs YouTube channel. Let's be real. Coffee isn't just a drink. It's a ritual, a lifeline, the thing that gets you from half asleep to fully functioning. And if that's essential, why settle for anything less than amazing? That's where Trade Coffee comes in. Trade is the #1 coffee destination in the U.S., delivering fresh, incredible coffee from over 50 other countries' top roasters. Whether you're a cold brew fan or a pour-over purist, they'll get the roast you'll absolutely love. And if the first match you get isn't perfect, a Trade will replace it for free until they get it just right. It's fantastic. I just got some in this morning and tried it myself, and I very much enjoy it. I went to cold brew for it myself. Right now, Trade is exclusively offering our customers 50% off your 1-month trial at drinktrade.com/LockedOnMLB. That's TRADE.com/LockedOnMLB for 50% off your 1-month trial. drinktrade.com/LockedOnMLB. Today's show is also brought to you by FanDuel. The NBA playoffs are in full swing, and every night delivers highlight-worthy performances, major momentum shifts, and can't-miss moments. Whether it's a game-winning shot or a breakout player, there's never been a better time to get in on the action. FanDuel makes it easy to stay in the game before tip-off and live. With player props, performance trends, and same-game parlays, fans have more ways than ever to play smart and win big. As the commercial says, like, these games are can't miss right now in the NBA Finals between the Pacers and the Thunder. We went with the over in last night's game. Coming up in the next one, I think we're going to see the Pacers keep it close in this next one at a minimum. They're a 9.5-point dog, so I'll take the Pacers plus 9.5 in the next game of this series. If you're new to FanDuel, it's the perfect time to sign up. So head to FanDuel.com and place your first $5 bet. If it wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. All right, couple other things from this game. Let's talk about Matthew Boyd here. We mentioned him briefly. 6 innings, only gives up 1 hit, 3 strikeouts, goes 93 pitches. That 1 hit was the home run there in the top of the first to Andrew McCutchen, who he's one of those guys that has been just like a pain for the Cubs and forever at this point. But he's one of those guys on another team like I've always kind of liked a lot. He goes out there, hits the first inning home run, but Matthew Boyd settles in really nicely after that and just dominates the lineup as you would expect him to do. Again, this is what we've talked about the last couple of days. This is what we've seen from the Cubs so far. The pitching has been better than expected. The bullpen's been better as expected. Getting on base has been fine. It's just driving guys in has been the problem. But Matthew Boyd goes out there again. Just another phenomenal performance from him in this game. I will say, in terms of going back to that question we got earlier about how many innings and things like that for Boyd, we're obviously not going to see him get shut down at some point in the season. That's not going to be in play. The only thing I think we would see with someone like Boyd at this point in his career is maybe they limit his pitch count a little bit towards the back end of the season, but they're going to ride his arm basically until that thing falls off, and they're going to just keep that thing going. And look, he continues to just really keep it rolling in a way that's phenomenal again this season. So he just keeps doing what he's supposed to do. Now, when he did come out of the sixth inning, I was very curious what was going to happen next for the Cubs. We've seen Daniel Palencia pitch 2 days in a row, Keller pitch 2 days in a row, and again, you're in a close game against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Part of the reason why I think the Cubs, we want to see them score more runs is you like to not be forced to have to use your high leverage guys every single day. And that's what we saw with Daniel Palencia back out there for a third straight day, fifth appearance in the last 8 days. That's a lot for Daniel Palencia. But Craig Counsell goes with Ryan Pressly there in the seventh. He gives up 3 hits, yes. A single to start the inning, but then gets a double play, back-to-back singles, and then gets a friendly strike zone, I would say. It was on the outside corner of the lower strike zone there to get the strikeout to end the inning. So Ryan Pressly in danger there, finds a way to get out of it. Drew Pomeranz comes in, gets his 3 batters, does walk one. Biggest concern there is the back. Clearly, he comes in there, and Craig Counsell and Hotovy and them and the trainers have to come to the mound. He's holding his lower back. Not to age shame here. That's concerning for me when you see a pitcher, though, of his age grabbing a lower back. Don't want to see that. But he finished his inning. So hopefully it's just maybe he needs a day or 2 off. But, if Palencia needs a day off and Pomeranz needs a day off, that's fine. And you have an off day on Monday. You're back in action on Tuesday. So hopefully, being able to finish out that inning, it just shows it's not a big deal at all for him. Real quick on Ryan Pressly here. Comment here in the chat. Take away that one really bad outing. Pressly has been outstanding. I thought what we learned yesterday was fascinating about Ryan Pressly. So Ryan Pressly was it was not ideal from what you were seeing from him early in the season. His advanced analytic numbers, it was kind of inevitable. This thing was going to collapse on him. Gives up 8 earned runs in 1 inning. It's a mess. And then what we learned was that after that outing, he went and met with Ian Happ and had Ian Happ work up just a scouting report on him about all the things that were going wrong for Ryan Pressly. And then since he met with Happ, he's been fantastic. Again, he's not in a high leverage situation himself to where you feel comfortable with him at that point in the season. But Ryan Pressly continues to just be very solid for this team. Honestly, solid's probably not fair. Hasn't given up an earned run since that disaster outing. And then we see Daniel Palencia come in for his 3rd straight appearance. My son is pounding on the door trying to get in the room right now. Daniel Palencia comes in there, gets his 2 strikeouts, gets the save for the Cubbies today. So, look, the Cubs get the win. That's what matters. And then we'll wrap up today's show with our Locked On Player of the Game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
So for our Locked On Player of the Game, we'll keep it with the pitching staff here. We'll go to Matthew Boyd for our Locked On Player of the Game. No one really in the lineup deserving of it today. Yes, Dansby hits the homer. 2 guys with multi-hit games. But Matthew Boyd is the reason why the Cubs won the game today. So you're back in action tomorrow. Got to take 3 out of 4 in this series. Just keep it rolling. I think we're pulling for the Cardinals a little bit tonight. Try to get some, try to get both those teams back to within 5.5, 6 games of the NL Central, as they're in the middle of the Brewers, the Cardinals, of a 4-game series right now. So hopefully the Cubs can get back on, can keep it rolling tomorrow, win this series 3 out of 4, and we will be back here live on YouTube talking all things Cubs baseball. Remember, hit that subscribe button and like the video as well here on YouTube. And if you listen on audio, shout out to you. Make sure you leave us a 5-star review as well. That helps us with all the algorithms and things like that. And if you're not subscribed to either of them, go find each other. If you're a video watcher, go find the audio. If you're an audio listener, come find the video. Come hang out with us whenever you can. So thanks for watching. We will be back tomorrow. Go Cubs. Peace.